reality show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. Oh. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome, you're tuned to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports radio station, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, and the station that leaves no listener behind here on AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, you name it. I'm there. Why so many places? Because I want to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So I have topics and guests and repeat guests that I get to have on the show. Of course, a show about hope and happiness, their favorite classic TV show is Happy Days. And that is why I am just so delighted. I've had pretty much all of the cast except the Fonz. We're still working on that one. Maybe Don can help me with that. But we've had the beautiful mom, Marion Ross, come live in studio when she was 89, back on camera with her son, Jim Meskimen, at 94, I believe. And then I have had, of course, Potsy many times, and now, Dawn, you actually tie Potsy or Anson Williams for being on the show, and I'm so delighted that I have once again. He came on to celebrate 8 years on the air. Guess what, Dawn? I am now at 11 and a half years, 598 consecutive weeks, and you are show number 1042. Welcome back to the studio, Don Most. Hold on one second. I got you muted. Hold on one second. There you go. I apologize. Go ahead. Do that again.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Marissa. It's great to be with you again. And I can't believe you've done that many shows for that long in a row. That's amazing.
It is. I'm amazed myself. And those who said that a show about hope and happiness would not last.
You proved them wrong.
Exactly. And, one of my best compliments from the show is actually because of your wife. Your beautiful wife that you met on the set of Happy Days that became your lovely wife. And we had her on. When I first approached Don about having his wife, he said, well, she really doesn't like to do interviews. And so I set that expectation or that hope aside. And one of the best compliments that I've ever had about any of my interviews is that she agreed to come on, which she did. After she watched my interview with you the first time.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That was a rare occurrence that she was willing to do it, but she felt comfortable with you, and I'm glad that worked out.
Yes, thank you, and I want to say hello to Jean-Baptiste is tuning in from Africa. And welcome to you. And we have people streaming in right now. Thank you. We've already got two people gave us the finger, not that finger, but this finger. So love to have you ask Dawn any questions, but we're going to celebrate something that is not easy to do. And let's go back. And I know that you can't stay for the whole time. So I'm going to do the breakfast with Dr. Marissa. I don't know if we did this when you were here with Morgan, but I like to start every show with gratitude. And it's taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. So I ask my guests, what are you grateful for? And then the bottom of the bun is, what do you appreciate? So the top of the bun we do because we want to set the day in the most positive way. The bottom of the bun we do before we go to bed, instead of thinking about what went wrong or who done who wrong, to instead affirm what you like about yourself. So we're just going to do one. We normally do 8, but because of time and I want to get to the topic at hand, what are you grateful for, Don? Most?
I'm grateful for my family, my wife, who's been a warrior with her Parkinson's, and grateful that she's doing as well as she is doing, and that we have a great doctor for her. And I'm grateful for my daughters, my 2 daughters that are doing so well, and our youngest one just had a baby girl and made us grandparents. So we're very grateful for that.
Yay!
Yeah.
What is her name? The baby.
Sienna June. Sienna.
First. All right, go ahead.
Sienna June.
Oh, beautiful. Your face just lit up with a giant smile when you said her name. Welcome, Maria is in the studio now, and she's a big fan of yours. See, Good morning, love Mr. Most, and she wanted to make sure that she got here. So, yeah.
Hi, Maria. Nice. I'm glad that you're a fan, and I'm grateful for that too.
Yeah, beautiful. And I am super grateful to have you back on. I am grateful that I get, because of this platform, to meet some of the most, on one hand, like you're a household name, Ralphs Malph, Happy Days. How many seasons did you run?
The show ran 11 seasons. I did the first 7. And
first 7.
Yeah, and then Ron Howard and I left after the 7th season when the contracts were up. But because it was not that. I mean, I still got along with everybody wonderfully and had an incredible time. But playing the same character for seven years, I just got to the point where I felt it was time to move on. It was a tough decision, but I needed to start breaking away from that character. As much as I loved doing it, back then there was a tendency to get typecast because there were only 3 networks and like 50 million people watching you. Now, there's so many choices and so much content. So people don't tend to get as typecast as they did back then. So it was a real concern. And so I had to make a move and move on.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I am one of the sponsors of the Newport Beach Film Festival Chinese Spotlight Film. And so the students who were handling me, handling the talent last night, I told them that I was interviewing you, and I expected them to not know who you were just because they're young, Happy Days, and they all knew who you were. They all knew the show. And so the beautiful thing, the 7 years, I mean, it's an eternity. The classic TV, thank goodness, good TV, as I call it, is still very popular, even with the youngins. So just so you know that you have fans on the red carpet from last night. So,
great.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at the Newport Beach Festival 2009. A movie I directed called Moolah premiered at that festival, and it won I won outstanding achievement in directing for that. So I have fond memories of and thoughts for the Newport Beach Film Festival for sure.
I'm just. We're going to be doing that the whole show because there's so many things that are just, you keep surprising me on the things that you do in addition to way beyond Ralphs Malph on Happy Days. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering who's in studio today and you recognize him, that's because he is my 3rd time return guest. His name is Don Most. You know him first and foremost as not foremost, first, because Anson bristles when I say, you know him as Potsy. So I've learned. We were together at the. I asked if you were coming. I think you were traveling. The open doors of change fundraiser that Harlan and I are very involved in. Right. That and we missed you, but Anson was there. Yeah.
I couldn't be there. I was working on out of town on a film, I believe. Yeah,
I think you were. And I'm so sorry that I didn't follow up. Remember, I was gonna stop off in your home, meet on my way up to Northern California. The last time we had talked.
Oh, right.
And then I said to Harlan, I said, "Oh, I still got to do that." And he goes, "Well, you're going to be driving a long time because they moved. They moved out of state." But where are you now?
I'm in Colorado because Morgan and I moved here about 3 months ago, to be closer to our daughter and the expecting grandchild, and now who's now here. So it's a big change, but it's beautiful country here in Colorado, and we get to see our daughter and the granddaughter. So I'm happy. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, I'll have to go to Colorado now to be able to have that lunch we were talking about. But I'm so glad that you're here. Those of you who, we have some peanut, I call them my cashew gallery here. Let's see what Maria is saying. You did things for shows I love, Sabrina and the Family Guy, Star Trek, so we're kind of connected. See, more things. I didn't know you were on Star Trek.
Yeah, I did a two-parter, and I played, talk about getting away from being typecast. I played a doctor he was sort of the evil doctor, the villain of the piece, and it was great. I really enjoyed doing that. Star Trek Voyager was the one I did.
Oh, really? My nephew is Ensign Kim.
Oh, I think I don't know if we worked together.
You may have not. Yeah, you may not have intersected. But guess what? Guess where Maria is from?
Where's that?
Colorado.
Oh, what part of Colorado? Where in Colorado?
Where in Colorado, Maria? You're getting a direct question there. And as she's answering, you are tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, AM 1050, FM 106.5, home to the Asian Oprah, the station that leaves no listener behind. But you can only listen there. If you'd actually like to see Don Most and all of my guests, please do free subscribe on my YouTube channel that houses all 1,041 shows now, and you'll get an alert at every 9 a.m. morning, so you can tune in and chat like Maria is. All right, here we go. Don Most, your first love. We all thought it was acting. We all thought that was what you were doing with your life and using that platform to meet your wife. But what is your first love?
My first love was music, singing and singing. I was 9 years old when I got the bug to do it, when I saw the Jolson story, the biopic about the great Al Jolson, and then I started getting a real education of that genre of music, the Great American Songbook and the jazz standards, and then I pursued it, and I was even performing when I was 14, turning 15, up in the Catskill Mountains, which was a resort area upstate New York. And so it was part of a troupe a nightclub act that performed at all the hotels up there. The summer I was turning 15, so that's deep down in my blood, so to speak, and always loved it, and continued loving that music. But I put it aside back then, and switched my focus to acting when I was 16. And I knew I'd come back to the music at some point. And I did about 8-9 years ago. Decided if I'm ever going to do it, I have to start. And I put together an act and started playing jazz clubs in Los Angeles and New York and Chicago, and did a CD 6 years ago called Mostly Swinging with a great big band. And now I have a new one out. It's also jazz standards, but with a couple of other surprise covers, and one original song called New York High, which is the title of the album as well. And it was, that single has just been released in the UK, and it's doing really well. It's on something called the Heritage Chart. So if people want to look up Heritage Chart, it's in the UK. I forget the URL for it, but people get to vote. And right now we moved up. We're moving up the chart. I'm at 26 right now, so that's exciting. So if people want to vote for me, if they like the song New York High, which, like I said, the CD, and the CD's out on iTunes and Spotify, Apple Music, all of those. So people could check it out. And if they want to vote for New York High, they can go online and just look up Heritage Chart and Mike Reed, READ. He's the host. And they'll be able to vote, which would, whatever. For your consideration, we'll say.
There it is, Heritage Chart. And vote now. I guess you would press vote now to find you. Let's do that. There it is. All right. 26 New York High right here. You just press that button, and I'm going to vote right now. Submit.
All right.
And
Cool.
there you go. That's easy and peasy. And for those of you who want to hear proof that it is fantastic, I am going to just play you a little snippet that I did on my promo yesterday. And I got this all lined up here. Nope, there. And share. Here we go.
Girls by the Store Club have been catching my eye. Moonbeams dance on a walled-off hotel. Could it be I've fallen under a New York spell? Downtown Manhattan's like a shower of stars, shining reflections of those New York bars. George M. Cohen, another Times Square sky. Could it be I'm dancing on a New York high?
Wow. I heard it last night, but I was at the festival trying to put the promo together at the same time. So I didn't necessarily catch the whole, that's the big band sound is one of my favorites.
Yeah,
it's so full.
Yeah, I love a big band. I've gotten to perform with big bands of several times, and that's a high. that's a great high for sure for me. So yeah, in this song, we were able to get that great big band sound, and it's a really fun song. It's a really another anthem to New York. Like some there've been a bunch of those in the past. We all know the song New York, New York. And this is a new one. And it coincidentally is written by a guy who's a Brit. He's from England, Mike Reed, who's a famous disc jockey over there. He wrote it with a partner, Max Restaino. And so it's kind of funny that you'd think it was written by a New Yorker, but
Yes, I actually thought you wrote it.
Oh,
So
I would.
a British guy writes a song about New York that gets recorded and now is going up the charts, as well as. And by the way, Maria just voted for you. So you've got two, and I know a lot more people tune in now and later. So go to Heritage Chart. Make sure I got that right. Heritage Chart .co.uk, but just Google. All I did was Google Heritage Chart. It was very easy to find. First one that popped up. So go and vote. That's your Happy 88 challenge for today.
Right.
Go and vote for Donnie Most or Don Most. Do you like Donnie or Don?
Oh, either. I'm fine with either. Yeah. When I was, after Happy Days, I thought, well, now I need, to be more adult and be up for different kinds of roles. So I changed it for the billing purposes. But I have friends who call me Donnie, friends who call me Don. Either.
Either is good.
Yes.
You still got it. Whatever that is.
Still got it. Still got it.
You still got it. And we have a new member supporter in my tattoo gallery. His name is Troy Pacelli, and Troy Pacelli is a wonderful supporter of this show. He's late, but he's here. He wanted to get to meet you. And so, Troy, here he is, Don Most, artist and actor. You know him as Ralph Most, and now you know him as a musician artist. I saw you played in a number of venues that my twin sister, Keiko Matsui, has also played at.
Oh.
And so I saw that you were somewhat recently. Anyways, are you still doing the shows in different places? Are you on tour?
No, not right now. And when COVID hit, it made it tough, and I still did some venues, but with the move right now, I've put all that a little bit aside.
Okay.
But I'm hoping to get out there again, to hit some of the clubs and maybe tour. We're talking about possibly doing a tour in the UK, and so we'll see. And the other thing that happened is that for the Grammys, the album got it made it onto the Grammy ballot, which is really good, and the New York High under the category of best album of the year in traditional pop. So if any of you out there are voting members of the Grammys, you should check out the album and consider vote, because they're voting this week, and it would be awesome if I could make the final five, and be nominated. That would be really cool. And I got a shot, so we'll see. Hopefully there's a few votes, and I encourage you to listen to the whole album.
Absolutely. And you can actually get the whole album on YouTube. I didn't realize all of the songs are there.
Yeah.
All of my Grammy voting have already been asked to nominate or get onto the ballot. I know you know her, and the director of the Hollywood Museum.
Oh,
Dadigan. Yes.
Danielle Dadigan. Yes.
Yes, and she is also hopefully getting onto the nominations with her Godfather's album, right? The Ituro. I think you were traveling again. We went there for the opening. Harlan asked me to cover the red carpet, and so I got to play myself on his grand piano.
Oh.
He was one of the first. He played on movies with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, wow.
And all of that. So it was really cool. Do you play an instrument?
No, I played a little piano when I was young, but I never got, too proficient at it. But I was more, focused on the singing. But I love, getting to sing with some great musicians. I'm always in awe of how great some of them are, because when I go around, we have all of the music written out, And sometimes we've done it where with hardly any rehearsal, they just look at the music, look at it a little bit. We run through a little bit, and then they play it like they've been playing it for 6 months. It's just astounding to me. But
Yeah,
great musicians out there.
that's great. Now, Troy remembers you doing a Family Guy segment, preferring Outpost.
Yeah.
He's been a huge fan. He has your mega action figure.
Oh, really? Oh, cool. That's
There
cool.
you go. And we have Orville Nation tuning in from Spain. And with a nice compliment, I apparently look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Considering I was at the Newport Beach Film Festival till 1 a.m., that is definitely a compliment. And Maria shared the stream. Thank you so much. She also remembers you from being in Glee.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I had a recurring role on Glee as the father to Emma, the character Emma, played by Jayma Mays. And that was a great experience. I really enjoyed doing it.
That's
thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you for remembering that. I appreciate that.
Yes, he is everywhere, doing everything. And you've also inspired me to pick up my music again, because you, for those of you who missed the beginning story part, Don Most is known for Ralphs Malph on Happy Days, but his actual first love that he talks about in his past interview with me and in other interviews I've heard is music. And he put the music aside to do the acting and has returned to the music to climb charts, to be on the Grammy ballot, which is not easy just to be considered on a ballot for voting, by the way. For those of you who don't know that, it's a huge deal. And I also was at that crossroads with getting my PhD and going into music. I had interest from the management of Sade to put a demo together, the whole thing. I sang at Sunset Vine, Simply Blues, and Romeo and Juliet's. I don't know if you remember all those from a long time ago. And my father got wind of it. He's a professor of chemical engineering, flew down and said, "You're a good singer, but you're not that good."
Oh.
Because he wanted me to get my PhD. And he said, you can always go back. There's people that are dying to sing, and you're not dying to sing. So get your PhD. And so you've proved his point that it is possible to return and do something that you love to do. So thank you for that, Dawn.
Oh my God. Well, it was really great to see and speak with you again, Dr. Marissa. Appreciate you having me, and getting a chance to get the word out on what's going on with my music, and I appreciate all the guests who've expressed their support and being fans and all of that, and so hopefully we'll do it again, and maybe we could do it in person somehow next time.
Yeah, that would be great. There's one ask here, which actually I thought of too, because we know that Anson also sings. Have you guys ever tried to sing together?
Yes, we have. We've done a show together a bunch of times, and it was great fun. It was sort of, we called it Happy Days Live, and Anson and I would each do songs. We'd do some together, tell stories, show clips, and it was great fun. We're actually talking to some people now about doing it again.
We would love that.
Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, thank you so much for coming on. I am so delighted and happy for you. Everybody, please go to Heritage Chart and vote for New York High. We're going to be talking about you positively after you go. Please give my love to Morgan. And as you now move into your chapter as Grandpapa, I know that you're going to love that. And, I love you, and I just wish you all the very best and can't wait to see you in person again.
Yes, I hope so very soon. All the best to you. Lots of love.
Thank you very much. Don Most, ladies and all right. And he is going to get on the road there. Wow. I'm you know what's funny, guys? My cashew gallery. Now we're gonna get down to it. First of all, I want you to go to Heritage Chart before we forget. Share screen. Troy and Orville Nation, you did not see this. I think Maria was here when we pulled this up. This is the let's see, vote now. And if you scroll down, let's see if our votes made any difference. New York High, Donnie Most, is what is trending and going upwards on this particular site because the song New York High was actually written by a British disc jockey. So that's kind of cool. But go there right now if you can and vote for Don Most, who I'm just so delighted. He was on not that long ago with his wife, Morgan, and those of you who saw that, and if you haven't seen it, please go to my YouTube channel and watch it. It is one of my favorite shows out of 1,042 because she has Parkinson's. And after she met Don on set of Happy Days, they, he asked her out, and, it was a beautiful love story made on the set of Happy Days. And then about 5 years in, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. And she is brilliant. She gives tips on how to deal with Parkinson's if you have it. And it's just so beautiful watching the two of them. And the best part of it was she doesn't normally come and do interviews, not just because of the Parkinson's. I think even before, she's, not Dawn's the, one on camera. And she didn't, hasn't done, she did one interview and that was it. And she never wanted to do another one. But I got a call from the publicist saying that she agreed to do an interview with Dawn with me after she watched my first interview with Dawn. So that's one of the biggest compliments I've ever had for being a host of this show. And if you just tuned in, we just had Don Most on for his third visit on my show. Isn't he? He's so real and humble, and you would never know the breadth and the depth of accomplishments that he's had. And that's one of the reasons why I invite certain guests back more often, is the ones who we have that, the first meet on the show with the conversations. And then after that, it is this bond. The other one was Keiko. I told you about Keiko Matsui. She's gone on 5 or 6 times. Every time her album goes out, a new album, we celebrate here. Goes up the charts, hits Billboard 1. Nothing to do with my show, maybe a tiny little bit. But Dawn Wells, Marianne from Gilligan's Island, who's on the other side. She came on 1 time on the show. We had a great time. She came on 2, 3, 4, 5 times. We became friends. They're just, you'll understand when I say they're normal. It's not that they're abnormal, but sometimes in our society, we tend to put people who are celebrities on this pedestal, and somehow, they can do no wrong or all wrong. And it's not true. They're people, they're not perfect, but on the other hand, they do have this ability to sparkle. And that's why I wanted to sparkle this morning, because I'm so grateful and appreciative. Oh, I forgot to ask him what he likes about himself. I knew I forgot something. It's okay. But what that we're all one of a kind, wonderful. We all have unique talents, gifts, and abilities, and we have kind of lopsided things with celebrities and put them on that pedestal. But the beauty is, I seem to find people to bring on the show to you who they're my favorites because they're celebrities, but they're so real and down to earth and humble and wonderful, and become friends of mine, which I am truly, truly, truly. I will never take that for granted. So I see some chatting going along in my cashew gallery. Let's see. Here we go. We forget that celebrities are human beings. They have feelings and deserve to be encouraged and appreciated. Absolutely. And I'm glad he gave himself a shout out, right? To both nominate, to vote on Heritage Chart for Don Most and New York High, and two, they got on the Grammy ballot. So somewhere along the line, I was given the impression it was a Grammy nomination. So when he came on this morning in the green room, he clarified that he's not nominated yet. We're just going to hold that out there. Wiggle your fingers, please. That's how I call forth the law of attraction. This is how I get perfect parking spots, and even parking spots with green money light left over. So we're going to do that. That one, he gets on as a Grammy nomination. He's such a poster child for it's never too late to do what you love. And let's see, what else do we got here going? Does Heritage Chart show live current results for the vote, or when we find? No. He's been moving up that chart. So Heritage Chart, I think. Let's see, how far down do they go? Let's see, week 169. Let me just show you that. Let's pick that back up because we can. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. I love technology. So look, listen live. Let's do that one. Here we go. That's his schedule. This is the DJ. So if we go vote now, let's go. How many songs are there? There is 63. So he's moved up from 63, where everyone starts, up to 26. So I encourage you to vote now, and then maybe at the end of the show, we'll refresh and see if it refreshes live. I have a feeling it doesn't refresh live, but it does refresh. Let's see. Choose as many tracks as you like, but you can only vote for each song once per week. So every week is how it is updated. There goes the answer. What does WC mean? Sunday, 15th of, okay, so that's what it updates on Sundays. So we can check it out on Sunday. On Monday, we'll look at that on the show. Now, what else we got here? Let's see. Last call, I heard even Friday late night YouTube posts are people too. Ha ha, that's a private joke because Troy Bocelli has a show most of the time. Guys, I love their banter here, except for when they are Klingons, of course. Okay, these are all private comments. Here we go. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Long time. Great show. Wiggling my fingers for a Grammy nomination for Donnie Most. Yay. How are you, Kathy? Great to see you. And Kathy is a longtime supporter. We met a long, long time ago. She's going to have to remind me because I get you mixed up with someone who actually was a student of mine when I was the director of a modeling school. Now, I don't think you're that Kathy, but there's a Kathy that whose name is very close to yours that I say that to. Well, I want to go back and play for you. Do we have time? Yes. The actual, let's go look at, because we can do this. Video YouTube studio. I'm gonna go to Donnie Most YouTube And I don't think Troy and Orville, you heard the actual music. So this is his channel. And we're gonna add.
Girls by the Star Club have been catching my eye. Moonbeams dance on a walled-off hotel. Could it be I've fallen under a New York spell? Downtown Manhattan's like a shower of
Let's go to
stars.
another one on the album because the
Woke up this morning, found my baby gone. Woke up this morning, found my baby gone. I got an itch, my baby's gonna roll right in my arms. Cried last night, cried the night before. Cried last night, cried the night before. I came away living so I won't have to cry no more.
all right, that is another because it's up for album of the year in the category of classic something. So pop, not pop, a classic standards, original something. So I encourage you all to go and find. I'm sure, I know I have friends who are on the Grammy voting. I'm going to have to put Alon on this because her father is the founder and currently still performing Temptations. So we'll see if we can't remind me on Friday when I'm on with Alon, folks, because I know you pop in on that show to get her to rally the troops because we want to get them there. All right. Now we also have time. Oh, one more comment here. Doing great. Met you at an LA County Secretarial Council seminar. You were my favorite speaker. Oh, so sweet. Yes, I know you're all surprised that I am a motivational speaker because I'm so shy. Sarcasm is another service I offer. Orville Nation actually. Oh no, you didn't hire me to do motivational speaking. That was to cover the event. You wanted Michael, my big brother, Michael Bernard Beckwith. But yeah, I've been a motivational speaker for, I'm ageless, but I want to say like 20, 25 years. Yeah. Look forward to going back on the road once this pandemic stuff like completely leaves, so I can get back on stage where I belong as a Leo in 5 planets. All right, enough of that. I did want to direct you to a couple of things. Let's see, what am I looking for? I'm looking for the Catalina Jazz Festival that is coming up. I leave Friday because I am a huge supporter, and this is also one of my show sponsors. So you all got to encourage anybody that you know that lives within boat distance of the Catalina Jazz Tracks Festival. Art Good, another fabulous guy who is responsible for this giant 36th annual Catalina Island Jazz Festival. Let's look at the lineup and see if I can't full weekend. Click here to see who is performing. Here we go. We just saw Boney James at the Saban, and this is October 15th. Did it already happen? Yes, it already had. He was on Sunday. Let's see. This is the 22nd that I'm going to go to. Chris Walker's tribute to Al Jarreau with Chris Walker, Regina Bell, Bobby Lyle, Eric, my friend Eric Marienthal, my friend, oh my God, you have to hear Gerald Albright. He is amazing. I get to see him and interview him. Let's see. This was already. Okay, so it's this side. Here we go. Jesse Cook is on the 21st. And there's my twin sister, Keiko Matsui. She is 9 p.m. in the Avalon Ballroom. If you've never been to Catalina Island, y'all need to have a vacation there. Maria and Troy, I think it is time. Spain's too far for Orville Nation. Kathy, I think you should definitely go. I believe I have one more Sunday pass if you want to just go for the day. Here's some friends of mine as well. I have to load them up. Acoustic Alchemy is amazing if you've never heard their music. Let's see, we've got Craig Chiquika. That's a new artist I have not met. And then Jazz Holdouts. We've got just the best artists. Is that Peter White? Oh, no. Okay. So Catalina Jazz Festival is my one of my show sponsors, long time. Please go and purchase a ticket. Go to the Catalina. I need to make them a sponsor as well, as I give them a lot of love. The Catalina Express to get there. They made a special time just for the Jazz Festival to come later, to come back on Sunday. So please do go and join me. I'm leaving on the boat on Friday and coming back on Sunday. So join me there. All right. Let's see. Oh, Orville's just full of compliments. Yeah, so that's one place that I would like you to visit. How much time do we have left? What time is it now? Oh, we got time. So let me show you another. I'm giving away a ticket, a pair of tickets to, do you all know, do you remember that song? Sailing, na 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 na. We should do karaoke. So Christopher Cross is performing at the, hold on here, you know, my longtime sponsor, the Saban Theater, is, let me share this with you. Okay, share screen, the Saban Theater. Christopher Cross is coming to town. I could also get you tickets to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Tour. I got invited to that. She actually precedes me on this channel for KCAA. It's time for station ID. If you've just tuned in and you're wondering who's on my show today, we just had Don Most on Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa. The morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, but most importantly, my YouTube channel. Please free subscribe before Orville Nation convinces me to charge on this platform. But my sponsor that I'm giving tickets away today for Thursday, October 26th, it is Christopher Cross. 4 decades, 5 Grammys, Oscar, Golden Globe, 5 of 10 singles, 10 million albums sold. Come on, folks. Free tickets to the first. I'll give away 2 pairs of tickets today to Christopher Cross. Go to drmarissa.life, put sailing in the subject line, and you will get a pair of tickets. I'm just going to show you how easy this is. We're going to stop sharing here, but that is at the end of this month, which is coming up. It's only 2 weeks away. It's easy. Just go here, drmarissa.life, and you can put your email in here, and I'll know that's why, or you can close that and just go down to the bottom. You can see all these things that are here about happiness. And there's Layla and Neil Donald Walsh, who gave me kudos for this book, #1 bestselling book. We're possibly getting this in Costco. We're in talks right now. It's in Target and Walmart. Super happy about that because it's not written as a book, as a psychologist that I am, to tell you how to be happy. It's written as me not being happy, as one of 7 out of 10 of us who've had childhood trauma, with exercises so that you can get out of that trauma. Speaking of which, if you missed yesterday's show, thank you for all the positive things. It was a landslide of kudos for dealing with adult trauma. So if you've had any kind of adult trauma, go back and get that show and listen to it while you're driving, or you can watch it while you're working. Tai Chi, we're having classes again, and there's lots of places that I've been on TV that you can go. Here's where I'm talking about. Put your name, email, and the subject is, you put sailing if you want a pair of tickets to Christopher Cross at the Saban Theater. Easy as that. And finally, I'm inviting you for the rest of the Newport Beach Film Festival. If you go on my social today, I'll be posting some lion dancing, some me dancing, #dancing queen that I've been doing. I dance everywhere, no shame. No, I live, Michael Duvet said that I live my life as if it has no boundaries. I like that, so I'm adopting it. But the Newport Beach Film Festival, yesterday, when I introduced the Chinese Spotlight film, I actually did a xie for Greg Schwenk, who is the executive director of this amazing diversity highlighted film festival. Over 300 films. We saw the Chinese film yesterday. I was going to do this. 河边的路车, something like that. The river that flows wrong is the translation of the English, even though it says when the river flows. Let's see, yesterday, if I can find this and impress you with my Mandarin that I've almost all forgot. But the movie was 河边的过路. That's it. That was playing yesterday. We had the amazing after party. I'll show all of that on my social today. But please do. There's plenty of things. I'll be there on Wednesday. There is the Mexico Showcase Party. We're going to actually have some actors there. You know, I met Pierce Brosnan, 007. I met and interviewed Tony Hawk on the carpet last year because the Vans movie, that was extremely interesting. You have to go. I interviewed on Monday, opening night. Where is it? We saw The Absence of Eden with Zoe Saldana and her husband, Marco. Let's see if it's listed here. I got to do a flashing piece with him after. You have to watch The Absence of Eden. It's kind of like the Maria, help me. What was that movie? The other movie, Freedom, The Sound of Freedom. Like that, I remembered. So please do go. Absence of Eden is the next one. The reality of the ugliness of the borders. And honestly, I don't give a flying fork through a rolling donut if it makes you uncomfortable to see the realities of the sex trafficking and the children trafficking that goes on at the border or anywhere. If we can't talk about this stuff, if you're uncomfortable, then heck, change it. And we change it by raising it to the awareness of all of us who are light workers. Everybody right now who is listening and watching are light workers that need to donate, volunteer time, use our platforms to talk about things that we want to change. Because if it's in the darkness, it festers, it gets infected. we are in the light. And I think I'm almost out of time. So thank you so much for tuning in. Peace out. World peace through inner peace. Now go and have the best day ever with Doctors in the House tomorrow. Love you all.